Mad at me. I'm just speaking the truth. You feel me? Got a little story, a little something, you know? I grew up on 2nd Avenue Adams. Shout out to Biddy. Domino, my big bro, so shout out the city. I used to walk around like bullets couldn't hit me until on 28 Norton when I got caught slipping. Rumor on the streets it was the packs that I was pitching. Rumor on the streets it was the chicks that I was hitting. You should've seen the easy, yeah, how the bullets hit them. I sent the text the same night and niggas ended up missing. The fans might get a hold of this and think that I'm snitching, but this a true story and I'm asking for forgiveness. Cause when I go to sleep, my cold sweats have me tripping, and my nightmares in my sleep seem like they're never ending. Then I wake up and have to fight the same demons. So don't you dare test me. If you want it, you can get it. What's up? You know me, I had to use the bathroom and I'm like, ah! I had to log in the computer.
Like
Yeah,
this?
yeah. What I knew y'all wouldn't.
That's how I type too.
So you already know this is the latest song that just came out. I'm trying to learn how to do something right quick, and I can't figure it out. So it is what it is. I don't know how to pin stuff, so I ain't gonna pin nothing.
Oh, right. All right. Next time we'll figure it out.
Probably not popular enough to be able to pin.
It's coming. I just played it for my dad. He was like, "This is really nice." Hey, Steven.
All right, let's try this. I did that. Bam. There we go. Google.
Hey.
That's it. That's the newest, the latest. It just came in last night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 12 a.m. 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern.
You ready?
Been ready. Born ready.
Oh, okay. Welcome, everyone. I always wanted to do welcome, everyone. No, I'm really excited for this. It is our third installment of interviews, so this is going to be really cool. And yeah, you ready? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So first, let's just get a general update. Give me 3 things that has happened since the last time that we spoke, which was a month ago.
Okay. 3 things. I can't do 5. Just 3.
I mean, no, just 3.
Okay.
Top 3.
Okay. I give you 3. As you know, this project is something that I've been working on. That's very me being open and transparent. So the first one I want to highlight and acknowledge, like, it's officially been about 1 year since I caught this DUI that's like hanging over me still. Um, I went to jail. I got bailed out. It's crazy because when that happened, that Monday I was getting a raise, and then that Tuesday I had to fly out for work, and it was just all bad. So this project is about me being transparent and open. So I'm just gonna be transparent and open and say that's the first one. So it's been a year since then, and that's also me recognize it's been a year since I bought the studio equipment. So it all happened in the same night. 2 braids. I made 6 cents off 2 braids. That's my first You know what I'm saying?
Here, go
Money I
ahead.
made, 6 cents. I'm doing it big out here. If you need 5 cents, I got you. I need to save one. Um, and it's funny because Two Braids dropped June 29th, on a Monday. And so it only had about 24 hours to even exist before that month closed out. And so 6 cents in less than 24 hours of a song being released, I'll take that.
That's
And so
decent.
I'm looking forward to seeing the August numbers for sure, right? I mean
Yeah,
the July, excuse me, the July numbers for sure. And then I mean just more paperwork. That's to be the last, the final piece, the more paperwork. I found out that I need to register for something else in terms of a label, which is great. And I have some things in the work that around, of course, legal issues as well. So
just with the record label,
yeah, with the record label for sure.
which is named. Just remind the
Tw-
people.
25/8 LLC. You know what I mean?
Yes,
We can all
and
use the extra hour and the extra day of the week. You feel me?
I feel you. And I guess I want to just hop in there about the record label. You actually had sent me a video the other day with Chameleonaire
Hmm.
that was like just talking about how a lot of people want to a lot of people want to do a lot of stuff, and we kind of like talked about this last time. But he was just talking about just like how things are just like really hard, and you know, but you gotta stick with it. So yeah, like so far building out your record label, like what has been one of the hardest things that you've had to do?
Um, I think the hardest thing I really had to do is just really research. You know what I mean? Like it's not an easy process. It's not difficult. It's not easy. And then I think the final piece is really just, committing to it. Like
Right.
I want to commit to myself as an artist, but I have to commit to myself for the business, right? I have to commit to myself for like the foundation of the business. And now that I have a team, you included, right? Um, things are coming a lot more easier,
Hmm.
but it doesn't take any stress away. And so I find success in that, and I'm finding more happiness in trying to become an artist and not necessarily a CEO. So I'm gonna pass that hat when I can, officially, sooner than
Hmm.
later. Yeah.
And then what's been like really easy so far? Like what are things that have kind of just like, oh man, like that's real dope that like happened like with ease.
The things that are happening with ease, I think, are like just the connections, building with folks, and project planning, being able to get those ideas in a way that I structure them,
Hmm.
in the format I follow, and putting them on paper in a specific way for other people to get involved, hopefully, and wanting to join 25/8, and so
Hmm.
that they could be at the level and capacity and status I am, right? I'm not a known artist, I'm not a big artist, but in terms of solidifying a platform,
Hmm.
there's no doubt I'm solidified where I need to be in terms of like my business.
You're right.
So
And then oh, go
I'm
ahead.
listening.
Oh, and I was just gonna ask you, like, even like with the ease and like with the hard stuff, like what keeps you at it? Like, I think like that's kind of like the thing I heard like from the video you sent me. It was like, yeah, there's a lot of hard stuff, easy stuff, and like you got to stick with it. So like for you, like what is especially 2020, everything that's coming with it. Like what's allowing you to like really stick with it?
Uh, Commitment, and then also understanding like I'm from the hood, other people from the hood. Like, what's the worst? Like,
Right.
chameleonaire, excuse me, reference fear. Like, what can I be scared of? I've been homeless before. I've been shot at before. I've been shot before. I've been robbed before. I've been all these different things. I'm working in a professional setting at a nonprofit. Like, what's worse than trying to either live out a dream or just continue to um, try to make something happen and enjoy the fruits of that labor, right? And so I'm
Yeah,
not necessarily scared of doing these things. I'm more so just trying to own it and make it work.
that's what's up. I really appreciate that about you. Um, because I think that yeah, it's not an easy thing that you're doing. It's really cool to see that every single month we're still at it, and I feel like we're getting better at figuring out stuff. So it's really dope. So I want to kind of walk into
Even though we're sitting.
talking. Yes, walk with me. Just to start, yeah, to go through the song. One of the things I didn't know what Spotify is that you have to do a Spotify pitch. And if you just want to talk a little bit about what that is, and then like what do you have to do in order to, why do people do it? Yeah, if you want to just talk a little bit about that.
So now we giving gems. So y'all could thank Camille for this, because like there's a lot of people that's trying to get to where I'm at and they don't know the basics or the beginnings of actually establishing your brand as an artist on any platform. So Spotify has the opportunity for artists, period, to pitch their records as they drop, at least at minimum 2 weeks out.
Right.
Um, so what we decided to do collaboratively, right, me, you, and the team, which is Regina as well, 25/8, we decided each record we have, we're going to begin to pitch these, whether they get selected or not, to be curated by Spotify on the list. We just gonna go ahead and make a write up, pitch the song following their format, and hope for the best, right? So
Right.
this is our third time doing it. Um, Song wasn't selected. I mean, you don't get notified if you not get selected, but I'm pretty sure you get notified if you get selected. But
Right.
we pitched this song about a month out. We did the same thing with Appetite, and just it ain't sticking. So we still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh wow, you have to pitch a song. This is crazy. Here we go. So
Hmm.
without further ado, what I want to do is kind of like read through that pitch, and then we'll walk through some of the questions I have about the song. And I have to, this definitely is like my favorite song. I think that is very honest. And I respect your lyricism, and then also you, yeah, sharing something that's like pretty, to me, feels very personal and like intimate. So yeah, so thank you for being vulnerable with everyone. Like, because when you put your music out there, that's, you're putting yourself out there. So, all right. So the first part of the pitch goes, the next stop for the Rona Project is I'm Bleeding, an ode to D. Steezy's neighborhood while recounting his experience with gun violence and being let down by his day ones. So if you just want to just talk to as much as you feel comfortable, yeah, about like what that experience was, like what happened.
So it happened back in 11/9/09. I got shot by the 22 with a 22. Got hit in the drive by. It was a gloomy night, just in the hood, being young, trying to be out. Ended up getting sprayed. Um, that was a dark time for me only because like I love LA. I love South Central LA. Funny, I live in Long Beach now because that's just how life works.
Hmm.
But when that happened, like I hated LA. I was like the city I love tried to take me out, and then more so transitioned me to my community work because sometimes we have Daniel and we have D Steezy. It transitioned me to my community based work. I want to make change in my community. But more so, it just put me in this dark place of like, I just don't want to be here. Like, I
Yeah,
understand living here, going to school here, giving back to the community, but at this point, like, it was just weak. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so that's just really what it is. In regards to like the second question, what's the second question you asked?
Um, well, part of it too, you said being let down by your day ones. How did that tie into the story?
I mean, so in regards to like day ones, it's like I started off with that in the second verse. I said y'all be there when I knew that y'all wouldn't. I mean, is any person that fits the mold, right? If you said you was there and you feel like you was there, then you was there. If you feel like you wasn't there, then you wasn't there. So it's just identifying that. Some people think they show up. That don't mean they show up. I think
Yeah,
I show up for people. I know I show up for people, but that doesn't mean I show up for everybody as much as I think I show up for certain people. Like, you know what I
right.
mean? And so when it comes down from day ones, like it could be people I grew up with, it could be folks that I just encountered for the first time during that
Hmm.
whole time, right? I know one of the interesting things about that is like my big brother, Domino, shout out to Domino, he ended up living with me right when that happened, right?
Right.
Um, and we got Win saying he was there since day one. He was at the hospital. He took pictures. So those individuals specifically, obviously, probably would not, or they don't, excuse me, fit the mold. But everybody
Right.
else that probably think they was there and they wasn't. Like the shoe fits, wear it, because I wear a size 10, 9.5 in Chucks. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel you. All right, and so the next part of the pitch goes into his honesty and authenticity can be felt through each verse, and I believe it is. The listener is privy to, privy to a vulnerable storytelling that can be compared to Notorious B.I.G.'s Juicy. So I definitely want to like, yes, let's talk a little bit about the song. Where did you actually get the beat from and the soundtrack?
So shout out to my man Julian. So real. All my beats is coming from Julian. And shout out to Sticks. George Daniels, Sticks on the beat. Um, he did. It's funny. Fun fact, real quick. Side note: Sticks did
Hmm.
Got It for 6ix9ine back in the day, like a year or two ago. But So Real has always been my go-to producer in Santa Monica. Shout out to Santa Monica. Shout out to Florida. Shout out to Darren, Christopher, their Appetite. Shout out to Florida. Florida got a lot of records. Um, it's just one of those things where I was in the studio, I heard it. I love Styx's work. I love Julian's work. This was actually a collaborative track that they had, and I was like,
Hmm.
please, and they gave it to me. And
That's so
and
decent.
as always, I didn't know what to do with it till now.
Hmm. And then one of the lyrics that like really stuck out to me and actually made me sad, to be honest. It says, "Then I wake up and have to fight the same demons." Um, and I think for me, it's like usually when you think about like nightmares, um, like the best, not the best part, but like the most relieving part about a nightmare is like the idea that you wake up. And like for me, that lyric is just like you're still waking up, and it's like the same shit that you just had, like your nightmare. And I'm just like, I want to say fuck, but fuck, like damn. So if you could just talk to some of what that lyric, yeah, meant, like what, like the things that you were going through.
So the line before that goes, because when I go to sleep, my cold sweats have me tripping, and my nightmare and my sleep seem like they're never ending. Um, then I wake up and have to fight the same demons. So don't you dare test me. If you want it, you can get it. So I don't know. Like I said, I was in this dark place, getting hit in the drive-by. Not too many people are blessed with that privilege. I'm a make it more positive than negative. Um, in the song as well, it's like I sent the text the same night and niggas ended up missing. Like you got to live with that. Like that's not airing out. That ain't dry snitching on yourself. That ain't like we telling a true story. Like you know what I mean? And so I remember that because dry snitching is real. I remember that, and I remember just getting a text and the response I got to the text I sent. It was just surreal. Like the response I got was like, say less. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But like, it wasn't even say less. At that point, it was like, got you. Like, we good. You good now.
Yeah.
Like. And so after a while, that plus getting hit by stray bullets, not knowing where it came from, and talking to folks. And again, you listen to the song, the story is there itself. Listen to folks. This is the reason probably why, or her being around is probably the reason why. And you know, you get to a point where that's looping, and you just keep thinking about it. And so I would just have cold sweats, and I never really knew where they came from. But then, like these nightmares, these like never ending getting shot. They say when you die in your sleep, you die in real life. I died so many times at this point, like I'm still alive, and
Right.
I'm knocking on wood. So that always like was over my shoulders and trying to figure that out and process that. Right? No therapist because we don't believe in that. Back in the day when we were younger, like when I was young, right? We don't believe in
Yeah.
therapy. And also just like being awake, right? I joke with folks to this day in my apartment in Long Beach. I would joke because if I'm stressed out day to day because these nightmares in my sleep, um, like I'm seeing demons when I come home and I'm telling them like I'm so burnt right now, like y'all gotta wait. Like you know what I mean? Like I can't even deal with y'all right now. That's
Right.
how mentally stressed and distraught I am right now. So um not only am I attacking them before I go to sleep, and I'm attacking them in my sleep, like I gotta wake up and deal with this shit again. And not only that, being a black man in the society, especially right now, right?
Right.
It's just too much.
That is, yeah, that is a lot. How are you dealing with it now? Like, is that something you still struggle with today?
Man, this is like funny. I'm mad you asked that. So the struggle ain't really that real, but I was gifted a worry doll,
Hmm.
right? I always call it a dream catcher, but a worry doll. So I ain't gonna lie, ever since I've been gifted this, let's say about March, February 2020, not too long ago, I have not had a bad dream, and
Yeah.
that's like deep. That's a real deep to me. Like, um, So I cherish this, and I'm gonna hold on to this for forever. I ain't gonna say because I don't have it, I don't have a bad dream. I'll have a bad dream, but I know in this apartment since I've been gifted this, like I was telling, a friend that like, yo, I just be flipping out, and once I was gifted this, and I sleep with it under my pillow. Now it hangs over my bed. Zero. Never had a bad dream.
And then what I want to touch on too is like I know you had shared like a post that had came up that like came back up where you had like talked about your experience. Um, if you want to just talk a little bit about that post.
I think I shared that post with you without reading it because I already knew what it was about.
Uh-huh.
If you remember, you can elaborate on it. But
All
like,
right.
if you don't, like, it's all good.
Well, you were just talking about just like gun violence in general, and just how that's like affect the community. And then I think you talked to just the work that you're doing now.
I think so. Since we're touching on gun violence, one of the interesting things about that, I remember when XXX Tentacion passed away in Miami, and I remember I was at work and I caught wind of that. And this is somebody who was struggling with DV cases, domestic violence, whether I think probably sexual assault as well, right? A black young man in the recording industry, right? Got shot in the neck, and his body was in like a BMW i8, and like a rapper that was known and up and coming. So all these like traumas and like all this negative on his image, and people was just like, well, he deserved it, whatever the case may be. He probably should have gave up his info. I mean, his bag of money or whatever the case may be. I remember it hit me in terms of gun violence because, like, although he has a horrible past, a difficult past, I was like, this is another young black man that died from gun violence for sure,
Hmm.
for sure. And that just flipped me out when I thought about it, right? Because I'm like, I understand all these other things, but the fact that this other individual had a gun and shot this person in the neck, like this is deep. This is real,
Yeah.
real. And so I think that triggered for me when I got shot. It's triggering for me. Like it's funny, a lot of rappers get shot. Like, people are out here getting shot by guns. And like
Hmm.
we talk about it, but we really don't dig deep and try to like figure that shit out.
Right.
And so my post is really just me opening up again, like I've been doing, is just sharing my experience.
And then did I catch it right? So like after that experience happened, is that kind of like when you got into more community work?
No, 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 no. When I got shot, yeah. So it's weird. I'll break that down real quick. Um, being from the streets, being with the homies, us doing what we got to do to survive, getting shot, it triggered for me like I want to be changed. And so funny, my Instagram handle was Mayor Johnson. So I was like, I want to be the mayor of LA. And going through that journey and that process, I realized the mayor doesn't have that much power to create laws to change gun violence and shit like that, right?
Hmm.
So I said, I want to be the governor at that point. I want to strive to be the governor. And if I go, I work my way up, and then I probably, or as people do, start up top and work my way back to local politics. And
Hmm.
so from there, I started pursuing like public speaking and doing more engagements. And then I actually got my position at Public Allies as a program manager in a nonprofit. Before that, I was in youth build to get my diploma, learning construction, learning leadership development. And I just kept running with it while still trying to pursue music as well, off and on.
Got it. All right. And then the last part of the pitch goes. I'm Bleeding ultimately is an illustration of how sometimes the only person you can count on is yourself because the people you count on the most won't always be there. That felt really heavy to me too. Is that something that you really believe?
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to my little brother Wins. He just dropped a mixtape called Boy. That's how I feel about it. That's what I feel about your mixtape, Boy. It's the acronym for Bet on Yourself.
Hmm.
I had to hit him up. I helped him like figure something out. I'm like, bro, like, what does this mean? This is floating above your head. He's like, bro, bet on yourself. I was like, oh my bad. Like this is weird. I can't do nothing with this. I don't know what it means. And so I'm just messing with him. But yeah, like bet on yourself. I think it sucks. Of course, that's life. And I don't wish anybody. I would never wish that on anybody being let down, right? Um, but I think for me, I just try to do my best to keep those folks at a distance uh, because I know me, I know how I am. I'm gonna continue to show up for people. All you gotta do is call or text me, and my crazy ass gonna be there. Like no,
Right.
no, no doubt. I'm gonna be there. I'm not gonna think twice. And so I'm trying to learn how to like just distance myself. But for the most part, I try not to associate myself too much. I'm trying to learn to just like taper off or scale back. If I might help you today, I mean I'll probably help you 3 years later from now. I want to help you
Hmm.
all the time because that's normally what I do. But I think being let down is a part of life. It's just how you take it and how you want to move forward.
I feel you. Um, I want to go into like the project, but is there anything else that you want people to take away from this song?
I mean, nothing really. I think just enjoy the song for what it is. It's very different. It was actually supposed to be on the Rona Project, but it was one of the ones uh, during my transition of like talking about relationships and heartbreak or anything else I talk about on the Rona Project and show during the listening party. This was a verse or a story that was different from the whole project,
Right.
and I feel like it didn't fit on the project. So let me just go ahead and release it as a single by itself. So if you recognize what I put on platforms such as SoundCloud is more idea based. Um, all platforms is normally just like ideas with strength behind them, with a voice behind them, like
Hmm.
Two Braids, like Appetite, and like this song, I'm Bleeding. And next up, like the project at the end of the year on December 30th is just going to be not the same. It's going to be an album. It's going to be an EP of 6 tracks. It's going to be very different. So I'm trying to make sure people can get what they want while they grow and develop with me.
That's awesome. I guess, and you kind of talked on it. Well, not really, but yeah. So like, so moving on to the Rona Project, and I guess like remind everybody what the Rona Project is. So if this is their first time tuning in, like what would you describe the Rona Project as?
The Rona Project is a diary in a musical format. It's me opening up. It's me not sugarcoating. It's me being transparent. So be careful how you treat me during this time of this album being created, because like you're gonna get a verse, your
You
mama
might
gonna
get a
get a
whole
verse, your
song.
daddy gonna get a verse. Yeah, everybody gonna get a song. And depending on how I feel that day, it could be a love song, it could be like a down song, it could be an up song. And this is real life right here. This is just me learning how to create art.
How? Do it again.
This is me learning how to create art. But next up though, like next month, we got
Yeah. What's next?
uh September 25th, my song Hating. The track art is already there. People pointing their little fingers at Daniel in a cartoon format with a bandana. That one's a nice record. I actually like that one. And it's self-explanatory. It's called Hating. It's produced by Mateo from Inglewood out in the UK right now. His tag is "Turn that shit up, Mateo." It's a nice record. That one is gonna be really out of the box, trap style fun. It's nice.
And then kind of like digging for another little nugget. Like how do you go about just like releasing your songs and like what have you been doing around like promoting it or like what do you suggest for people to do when they're releasing the songs just like from your experience so far?
Here we go. Everybody needs to sign an NDA.
But what you feel comfortable sharing, of course.
Look, if today gonna be the day to drop gems, it's because you said something. And I appreciate that. So, you know what? You're right. I'm a safeguard it still. We're gonna talk
Hmm.
about the Rona Project in the format. I have a lot of crazy things coming up. The first step, I got I did Two Braids. I did Appetite. I just dropped I'm Bleeding. I have the next rollout for the rest of the year for singles each month at the end of the month while we do these videos. These videos is a part of that marketing, right? The track art alone is self-explanatory. I'm Bleeding is a pair of red chucks in the hood on the sign 28th Street, right where I got shot. That's facts. I had that picture since 2009, and can't nobody deny that. That is an original picture I took back then. I would have never known I was gonna make a record and use that picture.
Yeah.
I did it. That's facts, right? Um, the lyric video I just dropped for Two Braids. Shout out to Hey, I'm RJ. Grew up with him in Compton. I saw Ronnie Bamboo just join. Shout out to Ronnie. He out there in Compton in the sunny coast. Um, I was like, yo, let me tap into you. Let me tap on you to do a lyric video. He did a lyric video for Two Braids. It's phenomenal. So each song is gonna get a lyric video.
Right.
I'm mad I
What
said
made you
that.
think about doing it like that?
Because back in the day, you know, you used to look up videos and look up the lyrics, and it's like you get it. but it
Right.
wasn't fun. And so I'm like, yo, I want to have fun. Let me holler at my man. And he delivered. And
Yeah,
so
I
each
saw it.
song
I
is gonna
liked
get
it.
one. Each
Yeah.
song is gonna get one. And we're not even talking about the actual video yet. Like I haven't discussed with you. I haven't discussed with Gina. I haven't discussed with the rest of anybody engaging with 25/8, right? As a record label in regards to like how I want these ideas to play out for these videos, right? We haven't found a videographer, let alone is the pandemic. How will I respect the pandemic during this time and not put any of our lives at risk, right? While
Right.
trying to shoot this stuff, right? And so there's a lot of content still being built up to the project. And
Hmm.
once the project gets released, there's still going to be a plethora of things to release because of that project that's untapped. So what you're
Yeah.
looking at in the beginning right now is like a whole year of marketing around one specific project, probably a year and a half. And we barely at the half, like less than the half mark. You
Right.
know what I mean? So it's going to be fun. I mean, uh, look, I'm going to put it out there. I got my man, Roberto Diaz, loving to death. I think his forgive me if I get it wrong, Chicano writer. I'm gonna try to share his work. He's on Instagram writing short stories, mini stories. I got a homie on the back end drawing anime. Shout out to Uriel the Light. He's the one that's featured on Two Braids.
Mm-hmm.
He drawing anime. Bro, whip me up right quick. Yo, Roberto, can you write a story about Two Braids? Not Two Braids, the project? Well, what you
Hmm.
talking about, right? Well, you see the interviews, you hear the songs that's being released. You know me personally, just write something. So
Right.
it's a crazy thing I'm doing, and I hope that people are watching and learning and being inspired because they could do it too.
Right.
I'm just doing it
And,
different.
and I feel like that's the one thing I think that's really cool. It just feels like you're tapping people around you. I think Issa had said something instead of like looking up, be like, oh, I want this person, like begging like people that like made it or whatever to like
Hmm.
work with you. But you're really doing a good job of just like looking around at the people, um, yeah, that can like contribute to your work. So I think that's really dope.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Oh, and what else that I'm doing? You want the major key? I'm gonna release the major key. The next thing, the real major thing, and this is where, like, when people talk about competition and like they don't compete, it's the ideas that like you and I have as collaborative with like tech and music. And I
Right.
don't know if you're gonna touch on that, but I just
That's
like,
next.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. It's a good segue. Continue. What else were you gonna
No, no,
say?
that was it. I'm gonna let you,
Oh,
you the
okay.
boss. I'm just the interviewee.
Oh, okay. No, that's a really good transition because for folks who don't know, I own a technology company, and one of the reasons why I wanted to do this work with Daniel and to continue to do these interviews and then following his journey is because like I think there is a lot of similarities between the two. And actually, there was a VC the other day that had put out a tweet, and he was just saying like there's so many similarities between music artists and founders. Um, and one of those things is like usually as a founder, like there's a lot of people who like you may be underestimated, right? Like right now we're in this era where folks are starting to pay a little bit more attention to like black founders, but like when you talk about like people who are actually funded, people who actually raise a series A then go on to like raise more money, like the percentage especially for even black women is like below like 1%. And even the amount of money, right? Like you have people who can raise 5 million, 6 million, but even for black women founders who are getting money, they're only able to raise like $1 million because they're seen as like just not, I guess, I don't know. I guess like not that folks don't think that they can be successful. Um, and personally, as a founder, I always feel like I have to like overdo everything. Like I have to be like super extra perfect in order to like bring in the funds that we're currently bringing in. And so I wanted to, yeah, talk to you a little bit about that. Like on the, as an artist, like, do you feel like that you have to kind of like overdo, overdo, oh, that's not a word. Do you feel like you have to like, just do a lot,
Overexert
right?
myself? No.
Overexert or whatever, just do a lot in order to like get the recognition that you feel like you deserve.
100% off top. Yeah, yeah, right. I have to, but my reality is very different, right? And it's not because I own my own label, but as the impact of me being a founder and a CEO such as yourself, like my own brother didn't believe I had a label. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? And he was just like, yo, like questioning me. And I don't think it was negative. I just think it was 100% disbelief. Like, whoa, bro, what the hell are you talking about? Right. And I would have never thought that would come from my brother, right? And again, it's not a bad thing. Maybe I didn't articulate myself well. Um, it just sounds odd because maybe when I think of record label, I'm thinking it's full fledged Cash Money Records, like you know what I mean.
Right.
Um, Not thinking like how they started to get there, like you know what I mean. And so in that case, I don't feel like I have to like show and prove, because I have these things because my label exists
Right.
legitimately, right? Lawyers and everything is involved, right? I got hires. I got a business partner, you. Like this is real. Um, but when it comes to me being in the room, like I'm understanding like this game, this hip hop, this rap I want to engage myself in is very competitive in terms of like toxic masculinity and hyper
Mm.
masculinity, right? Like the first thing people want to do is they want to beat on their chest, like I'm the best, rah, right? And so me growing up, I never wanted to feel that urge period in anything that I wanted to
Hmm.
prove something to anybody. Of course, I have to show up for work. I have to prove my worth at work. I have to keep my job. That's different. I'm talking
Right.
about I've never looked at anybody in a competitive nature or anyone around me in the room and said, yo, I want to show that I'm the shit, right?
Right.
And that's difficult for me wanting to be a rap artist, right? I think folks think in rap that that's how they have to survive or that's what they have to do to be cool. So no,
Right.
I don't fit that mold when I enter a room in the space of music. I don't come from that lens. Where I come from is like proving to myself how to build sustainable relationships and how to work with folks collaboratively. Because to me, that's when I will win and that's when you will win. If I'm a likable person in this moment and we can get this record done and create this beautiful art and give it to the world and people eat it up, right?
Right.
That's for me, that's where I'm coming from with this in terms of proving things. I prove it to myself. And that's really just where it is. I think it's really about growing as an individual, doing inner work, not necessarily beating on my chest. And I think the last thing I would say is crazy when you think about rap and hip hop. Lyricism is great. I love it. Everybody loves it. Yo, you got 17 syllables you can say at once. You got a pattern. You killing it, bro. You using big words, all that. We in love with you, right? I'm not trying to attack it from that angle because those same people that love lyricism or love lyrics and cadences and patterns that's difficult are the same people knocking people that can't do it. They
Right.
perpetuating that toxic masculinity again, right? Now I'm not great as an artist because I'm not hitting a 17 syllable word every other sentence. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? And so those again are folks that have to prove. And again, I'm not knocking those folks that have that lyrical talent or that skill. All praises to them. Like I'm excited for them. But don't be those people that have that opportunity and skill, but then shun on people that don't do it.
Right. No, that's a really good point. And I like the ideal of like feeling like you don't have to prove yourself and that it doesn't have to be a competition. And yeah, really standing by the ideal of like collaboration. Like we can't do anything without one another. Like period.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Um,
it's funny you say hip hop, rap is the only ones that care about numbers in a way. Oh, you ain't hot, you ain't selling no records.
right.
Like we're the only one that's competitive in that nature. Tell me what country artists you know are going neck to neck all the time.
Right.
Please, please. I don't even listen to country music. I will start listening to country music. I will sit there and listen to that country music beef. I ain't talking about rap country. I ain't talking about
Right,
your
right,
boy
right.
Nelly. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about your boy Nelly going against Lil Nas X for the trap country. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about legit. Give me two country artists that are going neck to neck, and I'll be a country fan for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. That is really interesting. All right. So my last question is always, what can people do to support you? What do you need right now?
You always end with a tough question, a difficult question. Um, for me, I think what folks can do at this moment, I pinned it. The merchandise is there for the Rona Project, merch.dsteezy.co. It'll send you straight to the bonfire. Purchase a shirt, V-neck, hoodie, crew neck sweater, whatever your vice. You know what I'm saying? It's not just an opportunity for me to make a hard sell, right? It's really an opportunity for me to get you to buy into the brand because this is something I want to do probably for the next 10 years
Right.
straight. I'm not letting up. Like when you hear about folks blowing up, they blow up in 10 years. Not saying I want to blow up and be this major artist, right? But I'm saying
Right.
I want to give this run an actual catalog it deserves. So the merchandise is the first step to being a part of history at the end of the day. And you can always stream the songs and share them. Pandora, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. You know, it don't hurt to stream, don't hurt to share. Like
Yeah.
be a part of it. That's all I'm saying. Like I'm gonna be here for y'all. Like shout out to my brother Wins. I bought his record during his own virtual listening party last night on Facebook Live, and he didn't even know it was out yet.
Right.
I did that. The homegirl Brit birthday was today. I done streamed those songs so many times and bought the record. She didn't even know that. I texted her happy birthday. This is what I already did.
Right. And I
You
think that's
know?
so important. Like we have to continue to support one another because that's like the only way, you know. It's literally
Yeah.
the only way.
Yeah.
Um, Anything you would like to leave with the people as we close out?
Yeah, next month we here again, 8:30 p.m. PST for those that don't understand Pacific Standard Time. Um, Hayton is dropping September 25th. What is it? Produced by Mateo. Turn that shit up, Mateo. Crazy record, trap record. I'm bleeding out now. Go ahead and stream that. It's one of my favorite records. Everybody's favorite record, besides mine. I had to grow to like it. Um, Two Braids is out. I love Two Braids. I was at Chase Bank today doing some business, and like the teller had Two Braids, and I wanted to be like, "Yo, I got a song called Two Braids. You should check it out." You know what I mean? It's a nice like summer record. Appetite is a nice record. R&B love if you're into that. And in October gonna be a crazy one. You know what I'm saying with Wins and Pook. So
That's my second favorite. Yeah.
be on the lookout for that one. And yeah, just buy some merchandise. If not, get me on the record. Holler at your boy. You know what I mean? Appreciate you. I always enjoy this.
Always.
And I'm gonna tie you into an indefinite contract too. So tell your advisors and your co-founder of your corporation every last Friday of the month at 8:30 for the next 6 years, you're
The
tied
six
up.
years.
I gotta treat you like the labels. I got a record label. I'm sorry. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like this is how business is. I'm learning.
No, I respect that. Yeah, no, I always appreciate this. It's awesome to be in presence of folks that function with an excellence and folks that don't quit, man. And I think that's like if I could leave one thing with everyone is that it's not easy, but like just don't quit. Like if you want to do something, if you want to figure it out, like Google everything. Um, and just go and find people that are going to support you, that are going to want to collaborate with you. Because people do want to help. You just got to be willing to ask. You know what I mean? Like, that's it.
And you make the process easier if you just come over here to 25A LLC and don't have to struggle. We take up my plan. We gonna let people re-implement it. We're gonna let people chop it up, break it down, and redo what they need to do. But you could be right where I'm at, easy. It's a no-brainer. Just come over here, 25/8. Commit to like one, two, three, four, five projects. However you want to pump those out, you can. But I want to make sure folks around me and the artists that are around me, my colleagues, my peers, my family, I want to make sure that they at this status I am, and we could just make records at that point. Like for sure, it's a lot that goes into this. It's a lot. What I tell you today? Like I wanted to say, like what was it? It was it's more than what meets the eye.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is more than what you can see on this back end.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm blessed because I'm able to work on a project and drop a record once a month while doing interviews,
Mm-hmm.
while still not even at the brand building yet. Like this is a part of it. I'm talking about the business side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I woke up today and realized there's like 18 different more things I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally already did 100 since
Mm-hmm.
we've been doing this, what, June 29th? And what, we in August?
Mm-hmm.
That's only 3 months and I already had to do a million things, 100 things. And I just woke up and discovered I had to do 18 more. And nobody's
Right.
giving me this information, right? I'm willing to give this information for those willing to be a part of the system I'm trying to create while creating their own system, because that's the only way this works.
Absolutely. All
So
right.
yeah,
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Keep going. I'll see you
Thank
next
you.
month.
Same day of the week, same time. 2 months. Oh, my bad. My boy David, that's my brother. That's my frat bro. He said 2 months. My bad. 2 months, and I got 17 million gray hairs, brother. That's what I'm saying. Um,
All
love
right.
all y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Bye.
Steezy out of here. Like Wheezy out of here. Steezy out of here. Peace.
Bye.